What's up, guys? It's Benny. He's hiding out in Tel Aviv, isn't he? Login for Epstein's email account was accidentally leaked in the latest Epstein files, briefly giving people full access to his email accounts. It's been discovered that his email accounts had activity after his death in 2019. This is something that's been rolling around the internet. People going through his actual logins, going through Jeffrey Epstein's actual digital footprint and seeing if he's still alive. And what they're finding is that there's a considerable amount of evidence that Jeffrey Epstein is still around. And that's something that friends of the show, like Alex Jones and Megyn Kelly, have all speculated. Now, this video went thermonuclear viral. This photo went thermonuclear viral yesterday. It has since been confirmed to be an AI, but a very, very convincing one at that. A photo of Jeffrey Epstein allegedly walking around the streets of Tel Aviv today with armed security, heavily guarded. Jeffrey Epstein, beard and depression haircut. Nonetheless, this convincing photo, I think, has been all but debunked for sure. What hasn't been debunked is some of the more shocking and fascinating looks of Jeffrey Epstein upon his death in the prison. And I say quotes around that because I think there's enough evidence, and the government's lied enough to us about this, for people to just be convinced that nothing is true, right? That the official story isn't true. And so the analysis of this photo, I think is sound enough to say that it is, in fact, a Google Gemini image. There's plenty of information out there that points to Jeffrey Epstein still being around. Like, for instance, the Guard posting anonymously on 4chan about Jeffrey Epstein being swapped out. Some of the images that we haven't really seen any photo. We have seen 0 photos of the death scene. We have seen 0 photos of the autopsy. And the federal government themselves say that people were entering and exiting the tier that Jeffrey Epstein was being held on up into his death. We were told by Bill Barr in the official report that nobody went into or out of the tier. But as you can see in the video evidence, this is something that did in fact happen. It's something that contradicts official narratives about the death, and it makes people very suspicious. Newly released Department of Justice documents show the investigators reviewing surveillance footage the night of Jeffrey Epstein to see an orange-colored shape moving up the staircase and not coming back down. Jeffrey Epstein was locked in his cell at the time. This orange color was moving up the staircase at approximately the time that Jeffrey Epstein was dead. When he was found, hanged himself. By the way, they've never recovered the noose. They never had any official explanation as to how this happened without a noose. They never had any official explanation as to why there were so many linens inside of his cell. These are the kind of things that make people really wonder and say, well, wait a second, is he alive today? Well, this is probably the most viral story in the world right now. This certainly is the most viral thing in my timeline. Possible evidence of Jeffrey Epstein being alive. His Fortnite account appears to have reached rank Silver 1 in Chapter 5, which is, of course, something, a rollout that occurred after Jeffrey Epstein's supposed alleged death. When people realized this, the page was swiftly deleted from the whole internet archive. So they're saying that there is a record of his username, Little Saint Jeff 1. This is the name that he used in his emails and on a lot of different profiles, including gaming profiles, World of Warcraft and so on. People were able to sort of find his username, find his tag, find his email, match it up, and find that it has been playing after his death. Now, the Wayback Machine has decided not to show you the URL anymore. Okay, let's go through. Marjorie Taylor Greene posting this. Goodness. More receipts to support that Jeffrey Epstein's Fortnite account is intact. In fact, Little Jeff 1, according to the released documents today from DOJ, has been set to private upon discovery of the information. Look at this. Epstein is alive and plays Fortnite in Israel. Theory goes viral. Online sleuths claim Fortnite. Little Jeff 1 is linked to his, obviously you can see here, something that he used all the time. So there you go. And of course it has this avatar, classic, right? People saying he escaped to Tel Aviv. Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, had a state funeral in Israel. Jeffrey Epstein constantly in Israel, constantly communicating with Israeli prime ministers and so on. working with them, helping them set up businesses and so on. Jeffrey Epstein is live and well playing Fortnite in Tel Aviv. F everything. Well, here's a Thursday night rabbit hole for me. Jeffrey Epstein was killed on August 10th, 2019. Epstein files show a YouTube account username littlejeff1. The files also were used to play Fortnite after his death. Reached silver levels. Chapter Season 5 was released in 2023. It ran until 2024. Jeffrey Epstein's Fortnite account was playing from Israel 4 years after his death. And this is what people are saying, along with, of course, the photos that say this isn't the same guy. Here's the Fortnite account. This is the tag, URL, and it is not active, currently unavailable. You can kind of find, you can see that the Wayback Machine has nothing for us, which is very strange, by the way. Who is powerful enough to hack the Wayback Machine? Who controls the Wayback Machine? Little St. Jeff account randomly went private. Oh my. Alleged Epstein account, Rocket League less than 3 days ago. Is Jeffrey Epstein seriously proving that he's alive by playing Fortnite? Again, this is the most viral theory in my timeline right now. It'd be funny if Epstein was found alive because he didn't want to use a different Fortnite account. Since we now apparently live in reality when most bizarre things are possible, is it possible that Jeffrey Epstein's alone in Israel playing Fortnite? Well, I don't know. Jeffrey Epstein's Fortnite account is live and active in Israel multiple times, played this year alone. You can see here, plenty of screenshots, plenty of receipts. Possible for Epstein to get exposed for faking his death through effing Fortnite game tracker. Literally the most entertaining outcome as possible would be that Epstein was an intelligence asset, faked his own death with the state's help, was removed from his cell, then went to Israel, altered his physical appearance, became a recluse, gave up his entire life and the people he knew, but he couldn't stand the thought of giving up his hard-earned Fortnite victory umbrellas and exclusive skins, back blings, and emotes no longer available in the item to shop. That's right. This is how they bring you down, right? Benjamin Netanyahu, by the way, sounding off on Jeffrey Epstein today, saying effectively that his predecessor, Ehud Barak, personal fixation with overthrowing the Israeli government and working with leftists to do so, caused him to engage in illegal activities with Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein's unusually close relationship with Ehud Barak doesn't suggest Epstein worked for Israel. It proves the opposite. Don't agree. But anyway. Little St. Jeff getting ready to play some Fortnite. There you go. Okay. What's the Fortnite take on this? Fortnite has sounded off on Jeffrey Epstein being a star player. Here we go. Official Fortnite here. This was, let's just go ahead and check. Yes, this is the official Fortnite. 4.1 million followers. There you go. This was a ruse by a Fortnite player a few days ago. An existing Fortnite account changed their username to something totally unrelated to Little St. Jeff 1, following the revelation in the name of YouTube. These Fortnite trackers only display your current name, not any prior changes to it. We have no record of the subject's email address referenced in the public document existing in the Epic account system. Since the public domain documents were released, people have created Fortnite accounts with similar looking email addresses and usernames. So what Fortnite is saying is that people are faking being Jeff Epstein for the memes. For the memes. Okay. And that this is somebody changing their, I mean, you should probably have like a history of this, right? So people aren't so easily duped. But whatever the case may be, this is a wild one. Wild one. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey Epstein, alive and well? What do you think? Let me know in this comment section. See ya.